Hello everyone, this is Spencer here. A game came out a couple months ago that I showed a little bit of interest in. It was called Friday the 13th The Game, a game based on the popular horror movie series, and I showed interest in playing it. When the game came out, I was watching a bunch of Twitch streamers and the game looked fantastic. So what is it? It's a asymmetric multiplayer game where one player plays the immortal Jason and the other people play 8 frightened counselors who just want to escape. The gameplay is the counselors go around and look for means to escape, such as creating or repairing vehicles so they can escape via vehicle, calling the cops, and then escaping via cops, or simply just running out the time on the clock to 20 minutes. They can get several items such as bats, maces, flares to defend themselves from Jason, but they're pretty much completely vulnerable to the immortal god known as Jason. Jason, on the other hand, goes around and his goal is to kill viciously all 8 counselors. He gains some supernatural abilities such as teleporting and sensing people in buildings and just all these cool little abilities that actually answer a lot of questions why Jason was all over the place in the movies. He can just literally teleport and do the whole freaking, I guess you would call the horror movie crawl thing, where he goes whoosh and zoom up behind people and kill them, and it's pretty fun. The game is actually made even funner, I guess you could say, because the counselors can get radios and maps, which allows them to talk with one another and see where each other on the map, and basically it allows for people to the counselors to work together, say like, okay, I got this part for the car and I got this part for the car, let's all work together, we can escape, we can beat this. And it also has proximity chat, so whoever's playing Jason could come up in their best scary voice and be like, I'm gonna kill you. Or, I'm, Meatloaf. What do you call that? Meat Boy from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, whatever. Anyways, it's fun. The game, I showed a very much shared interest in it, and I loved watching the Twitch streams. However, due to recent events and some other things that have been developing over the years, I will never purchase the game ever in the history of ever. Even if I get it into Humble Bundle purchase or Humble monthly subscription, I will never play the game. And you might ask why? Why would I not play a game that I genuinely like? Well, that's why this video is here. And this is why I'm also going to convince you not to purchase this game. Because what's been happening over the last couple of weeks have been the shadiest, most fucked up shit I've seen in a game. However, let's start off on my main discrepancies with the game and why I do not have them. First off, the game is $40 on purchase. It is way too expensive. I mean, the game has a lot of depth, but $40? It's just essentially one game mode. That being the counselors escape and Jason kills them. It's only one game mode, a couple of maps, and some leveling up and getting new skins, essentially. If it was worth anything, I would say maybe $20, 15. 30 is a bit pushing it, but I can reason with it. But fucking 40? Really? For a Kickstarter game, this is way too expensive for what's in the package currently. And that just completely killed my intention to ever buy it. You can also throw in the factor that the game is very, very buggy. It still has very much a ton of bugs that have been there since day one, which have yet to be addressed by the developers. If you look at the counselors' faces, they are absolutely ridiculous, which I kind of wish they wouldn't patch out because they are absolutely ridiculous. But stuff as like, people glitching through walls, people disconnecting. Yeah, the connectivity's still broken too. All these things point to a game that's 2 months after release. You still shouldn't be having these problems. A game that's selling for $40 and is popular, getting rid of these bugs should be a priority, which the developers don't seem to be really addressing. Lacks of major patches have been very, very sparse and still haven't changed anything. The console versions are even worse. Matchmaking is atrocious, and the bugs are even worse. And they don't seem like they're ever going to fix them. As, I don't know if you know, with consoles, anytime you update a game, you have to pay a premium. So, I don't think the developers want to pay the premium after what I've seen them do. Also, the game was promised a single player. Sorry, a bit of water there. The game was promised a single player, and the single player has yet to emerge. And it was promised in the Kickstarter program, and it has been 2 months. They say they're going to release it sometime in the summer, but that is very doubtful. Why do I say that's doubtful? Well, it's because they tried to kickstart another game. That's right, they're not even finished with Friday the 13th, the game, and they're already trying to kickstart another one. You need all the developers on Friday the 13th. It's still buggy. It's still missing content. Why are you trying to make another frickin' game whenever you haven't finished the first one? The first one which is selling well. The first one which is getting actually a lot of flack currently because you haven't fixed the stuff. Why, you stupid idiots? But this isn't really out of the realms of, developers have done this before. A lot of shitty developers have done this before. And we've seen it time and time and time again. And I've complained about it every single time. But it's not without in the realms of, it's happened. And it will still continue to happen. Now, all this being said, this really doesn't seem like real reasons to condemn the game. I mean, sure, it's a bunch of shady business practices. And I mean, sure, it's them being really bad. And sure, they probably could be doing better. However, the story I'm about to tell you is the nail in the proverbial coffin. This flat out confirmed that I was not going to purchase the game. As explained in the rules beforehand, camp counselors need to work together to beat the enemy, or beat Jason. They need to work in tandem. The ability to view each other on the map, and the ability to communicate, and the ability to attack all help the players to complete said mission of escaping. However, a bunch of dinguses have been known in the game to side with Jason. What? That's right. People who maybe are friends with Jason would use these abilities, such as the ability to detect where counselors are and the ability to proximity communicate, to quite literally help Jason kill people. I mean, sometimes it's funny. Like, for example, a guy would be like, coming up on, case Jason would be coming up on a counselor, and he'd be like, spare me, spare me, spare me. These guys are escaping in a car over here. Go get them, not me. I mean, that's a bit understandable. You know, why get this one guy who's just walking around doing nothing when you could get the two guys in the cars that are trying to escape? And it's kind of shitty to sell out your teammates, but it's understandable. But there are people that in the games quite literally just go around and be like, okay, this guy's at this house, go kill him. And then Jason will teleport over there and kill him. Because you see, they have proximity chat, so if Jason's just nearby, you can talk to him. And Jason can talk back. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, an event happened using a Steam user by the name of Dilly Dingus. I know, fantastic name. In a game he was playing, two girl counselors were helping out a Jason character. They were not only telling people where the other counselors were, they were actively using their weapons to subdue the other counselors to help Jason get kills, going around and hitting them with bats or shooting them with flares. Friendly fire is in the game because it's kind of humorous, because, you know, if you got a car for 4 people and there's 5 people, you may have a little brawl to see who gets the 4th seat. But they were going around and whacking people and basically helping Jason get easy kills. Dilly Dingus, much like if I were playing the game, didn't like this. They didn't like people quite literally cheating. He didn't like people ruining the game. And so, he justifiably called the Jason and the girls playing fucking whores. Hooray, Dilly Dingus, you are an American hero. We truly treasure you and your service to this country. Fuck those cheaters. I think some other few words were spared, such as fuck you, or sorry about that. Fuck you, or, you know, go fuck yourself. Cunt, maybe. And that was pretty much it. However, the girls seemed to take a problem with this, and they threatened to talk to the developers about them and report him for, you know, basically just being mean in game. But I mean, you're cheating. You're actively cheating. And it turns out beforehand they were trash talking all the other players as well. You more than deserve to be called a whore. You're acting like an asshole in the game. You're a whore. A day later, Dilly Dingus gets banned. Permanent ban from the $40 game that he now is rendered useless because he doesn't have a single player, so he can't play it. And guys, this is the ice cream on the ice cream cake. The reason given for Dilly Dingus's ban was sexual harassment of a minor. Because you see, the person playing Jason in that game was 12 years old. Sexual fucking harassment. Let that sink in. Calling people a whore on the internet is sexual harassment? Really? They've never played on console, obviously, developers. Because every time I get into a Call of Duty game and a kid speaks up, it's usually them being called little niggers or cunts or whores, or telling them to get off, or telling them to fuck, they're gonna fuck their mother. This is trash talk. And it is deserved trash talk. Because the people in question were cheating and making the game fucking less fun, and they were trash talking beforehand. Sexual harassment? Really? Do those words mean nothing to you? Sexual harassment of a minor. Those words mean fucking nothing to you. You know what sexual harassment of a minor is? That is if I go up to a 14-year-old or a 12-year-old girl and be like, yeah, you're really filling out that shirt, aren't you? Or something to that extent. Or going up to a kid and rubbing the shoulder and saying, you're growing up nicely. That, apparently, is equivalent to calling someone a whore on the fucking internet. Are you fucking kidding me? As you can understand, I'm reasonably upset with this development. And the developers have currently upheld the ban on Dilly Dingus. They're saying they are in the right. He sexually harassed a fucking minor. Calling them a whore is sexual harassment somehow. Now, actually, we're just going to talk about that right now. I understand that words can be considered sexual harassment, but calling someone a whore? That's not really sexual harassment in my book. I mean, whores are a thing. Whores are a reality. There are whores in this world. Whore is a politically incorrect word for a prostitute. It's not really sexual harassment. The only way I think you could call sexual harassment is if Cindy comes into work and you say, oh, Cindy, you're dressed like a fucking whore. And Cindy takes fucking credence with that, being like, wow, this guy really doesn't have any say in how I dress. And I feel harassed. That I can understand. That would be sexual harassment. Calling someone a whore on the internet? That's just harassment. That sexual part is what gets you the extra years in prison, buddy. But okay, so Dilly Dingus didn't get his ban uplifted because he called a 12-year-old and some girls, adult girls on the internet, a whore for cheating. And so he naturally complained on a Steam review, saying, because he couldn't complain, anywhere else. He complained on a Steam review, gave it a negative review, and the developers threatened to remove the Steam review, claiming, LOL, he's a sexual harasser. Really? Fucking really? And then, apparently, according to their rules on the bans, for any ban to go through, permanently, they need evidence such as screenshots, video capture. They said video capture is best of the incident. And there was no screenshots. There was no video incident. They admitted it in a forum post when they were talking to someone else in private, that there was none. They just quite literally banned a person, which they said they couldn't fucking do unless they had evidence, because someone said they sexually harassed a 12-year-old. Someone said they were sexually harassed. You know how easy it is to say it is sexually harassed? You were sexually harassed? I'll do it right now. I was sexually harassed. Ooh. Let's fucking ban me. You know what? It's fucking stupid. They banned him for nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Why? Because they didn't want to deal with it. You know what? Friday the 13th, the game developers, I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to deal with you. And by the way, you're fucking whores. Want to ban me? Okay. I'll tell you right now, I will call you a whore every day. And if you think that's sexual harassment, then see me in court. I guarantee you it won't ever make that to court. Anyways, guys, that's why I'm never gonna buy Friday the 13th, the game. Shitty developers are being shitty developers, and they take it out on their the guy was a big fan. Hundreds of hours gone because he called someone a whore in an online multiplayer game where they were cheating. I feel like maybe this is not getting across somehow. That's what happens when you cheat in multiplayer games. You get called whores. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching my video. I'm about to kill the entire world in this game. This is Plague Inc. It's a fun game. They don't ban people for calling people whore on forums, so it's okay to play with that game. Yeah, pretty much I killed everyone with fidget spinners, which is fantastic. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I love you guys. Don't buy this game. I mean, I can't stop you from buying this game, but I hope I reasonably gave you enough reason to not purchase the game. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I love you guys. Bye-bye. Fidget spinners rules. Trump sucks.